Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's bar, Elena's bar. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's bar, Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yeah, controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's bar, Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Anita if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's bar, Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Bar and the Resurgence of Sanity. How are you doing, guys?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. How are you doing, Steve?
Good.
Good. Yeah, today we have a fun topic. We continue talking what was planned in my notes. We are talking about propaganda, traditional conservatives, and how debate is dead. But before we get there, guys, I'd like to get into an interesting topic with you and see what you think. I'd like to talk about the psychology of Sims, why propaganda works so much on men, because men are being brainwashed to satisfy women, to serve women, basically to be their personal slaves. And I'm trying to understand why, because I think there is more to it than just being desperate for your pussy.
Yeah, there's more to it.
There is more to it, yeah. And I think that it might be fear. So I'm going to share with you the notes that I came up with, and we will look into them. Okay, so yeah, and guys, if you're watching, let us know what you think about this topic. We appreciate your feedback. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Okay. So do married men simp because they are scared of their wives or because they want pussy? So here, most simps are in sexless marriages, and yet somehow they have kids with their wives. I think she uses him sexually to pop up the babies, which gives her more tools to extract more money from him. So these are your TradCons sims and 3 or 4s. And look, I'm asking you this because there was a guy, and I wrote an article based on one of his posts, and then recently he obviously is a simp, and he posted his wife, and he says how grateful he is for her. And it almost feels like whenever these TradCon men are posting their wives, sharing their family pictures, they are doing it to buy her good graces, so that maybe she won't demolish him in the divorce court. Maybe
I don't
like
know about that.
No.
Sometimes guys actually like their family. They're proud of their family. It's
Okay.
not just, it could be for clout. I just think, hey, sometimes like they have family that are there and they just want to share to the world they're proud of. They love their
Yeah, I
kids.
understand. I understand. They
Do I think
almost
they put their kids out there on social media? No.
no, yeah. Well, and they put their wives. Some of them are smarter. They don't put their kids actually, but they do put
But the
their
wives
wives.
aren't going to put him on social media except once in a while.
Yeah, and then to me, it just I something is off there. I just. Okay, well, they are simping for their wives. I think that they are to some degree aware of what's happening in society. They know maybe some of them who are doing this type of content talking about family, like to some degree, they should be aware of what happens in the divorce court. Maybe it's like some subconscious fear. Maybe they won't realize it that they have it, but they might have it.
Okay,
Know?
read that first question again.
Do
Question.
married men simp because they are scared of their wives or because they want pussy?
Poorly phrased question, misses the entire point, leads you down the wrong path by phrasing it that way.
How will you phrase it?
Well, I don't even want to phrase it. Men don't simp because they're scared of their wives or they want pussy. That's not the reason. That's higher order. That's down the road. Right here and now, she's starting to go on a mini tirade. And, okay, oh, is he worried about divorce court and all that crap? Yeah, maybe. That's further down. But right here and now, that's the issue he's dealing with. And he's thinking, oh my God, about to go off again. Oh,
You will
I
say,
don't want to deal with this.
oh,
Let me try and calm her down and just agree with her. So maybe she will just shut up and stop haranguing me because it'll only get worse from here. Okay, so is he doing that to get pussy? No, he's doing that to get peace. Maybe if he's peaceful, step one, then maybe later, yeah, okay, he can get some action. And yes, he is worried about the children. But okay, we're married. Most men are going to assume they're going to stay married because men don't want to go down this path thinking she might leave him. But he's concerned at that moment. Oh no, we're going to have an argument. Oh, the kids are at home. Oh, it's going to throw this turmoil into the house. And the kids are here. And you know what? We've had enough bickering. We've had some knockdown, drag out yelling matches. I don't want my kids to be exposed to that. What can I do to just calm her down? That's it. That's all that's going through his mind at that moment.
calm her down. So I need to simp for her more so that she stays calm.
Sure, you can define that behavior as simping. Yes.
Because, well, if he's too scared to put her into her place in front of his kids, then he's scared of her. He's scared of what.
Stop using that word.
It's not scared. He doesn't want his kids to hear the yelling and the screaming. He doesn't want his kids to be woken up by the bullshit. It's not scared. It's more like he's trying to protect his own children from the crazy. Excuse me, I shouldn't say that word.
Here's the reason you cannot use the word scared. Because when you think of scared, when a woman thinks of the word scared in her mind, it has a certain meaning. The meaning of that word isn't the same for men. So when you use that word to try and understand, you are putting your definition of scared into and projecting it on men. Men don't think that way.
Okay. Anyway, I think that Like to some
I mean,
some
what do you
extent.
think that he should do? Should he? I mean, the guy's
I
in a
don't
rock
know
and
what
a
he
hard
should do.
place. What should he do? Should he let her scream and yell and wake the kids up and carry on, and maybe the neighbors hear
No,
her? And
no,
I
I
mean, I'm telling you
understand.
from personal experience. Like,
I understand
what
why
would you
men
do?
do it. Yeah. I understand why men do it. It's like it's almost like they have no choice. You know, if they want to have peace, they have to simp for her.
Yes, in order for a man to have peace, in most cases, he has to keep the peace, accommodate her, compromise, give in, whatever it takes to just keep the peace. And
Yes, this is why I'm
that's a
saying that
simple decision. Then
he's trying to buy her good graces.
No, no, no,
No.
no.
Well, okay,
I mean, I
what
guess
happens if he
some men
doesn't?
might.
Okay,
Some men might, but most are doing damage control. It's a
okay.
volatile situation. You have a lot of these women are nuts like this, and you can't calm them down. You could say the truth, right? You could tell the truth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you. Uh-huh.
You can tell them the truth. You say, you need to calm down. This is not okay. What usually happens if you have some woman that's already all riled up? Will that work?
No, if you tell her to calm down, you are negating her feelings and invalidating her. And so she will double down on escalating. So you can't tell her that.
No. That's generally when you get your bags and you walk out the door.
And Elena said, oh, he wants to stay in her good graces. No, not really. That's a second order
okay,
effect. Shut. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Staying in her good graces is second order effect. First order effect is stop the tirade. Just stop it. I don't want to fight. That's the first one. Okay, only second order. Later, he may be in his good graces. But by calming her down, it never gets him in her good graces.
Okay, yes, I understand, Steve. We are talking about red pill is suppository in addition to RSVP that we've discussed before, respect, sexual variety, and peace, the thing that men want.
You just have to take your bags and walk out the door. Just walk out the door with the keys and try to make an escape. She might try to stop you. And it could get more volatile. Who knows? Trust me, I've tried it all.
Yeah, I understand. I'm trying to think here what else are men concerned about in addition to RSVP?
Well, let's ask Nick.
Our kids. They're home. Okay. Stable household.
So, Nick, when you were encountering those situations and things were getting tense, were you ever scared?
No.
Okay. At that point, were you worried about getting pussy?
No.
Okay, so again, Elena's first statement is misplaced, doesn't really address things. Why do men give in? Because holy shit, things are going to get volatile here. I don't want this. What can I do to avoid this big argument, this big blow up? And then it's going to be hell in the house for the next, well, it's going to be loud for the next hour or two. And then it's going to be cold and nasty for the next 2-3 days. It's like, oh my God, what can I do to not have this happen? That's all he's thinking about. And then he is thinking about his kids. Can I walk out and just leave? Oh, fuck, I can't do that because I can't leave the kids with this crazy woman. It's tough.
Well, I think all of these responses are based on fear of her. So he doesn't want to leave his kids with her because he knows that she's crazy, right? And he wants to maintain this peaceful atmosphere that, okay, if she wants something, then he gives in. It's easier to give in than to fight and set back and tell her, no, you're not doing this. Let's imagine for a second that he didn't care about peace. Okay, it wasn't on his list of concerns. Like, how would he behave then?
This man does not exist.
Yeah, you're asking a hypothetical.
Yes.
A case that doesn't exist. Okay,
Well,
when a man walks into a bar and he sees someone and things start getting heated, he's always thinking, okay, I want things to calm down here. I need to keep things on an even keel. And he's always concerned about keeping peace between him and other men, because he doesn't want to get into a fight most of the time. If he does want to get into a fight, he's got some mental disorders.
Yeah, true.
So no, what if he doesn't care about peace? No sane man doesn't care about peace.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Well, and then, okay, here another question is like, are they begging her for mercy so that she doesn't completely divorce, rape them, and kidnap their kids from them? I think this one could come later, like when they...
Not on their radar. Most guys have no clue. Well, they used to. I didn't have a clue.
Even in my first marriage, when, hey, there were shouting matches. Things got ugly. She would escalate. Even at their worst, I didn't think she would file for divorce. Right, Nick?
Until I found the text messages when I was running around.
Right.
Then the police
that
came.
Means, but then you are out of the heated situation. You are doing some background thinking. You're processing information. Then you start to look at things analytical. A man is not looking at things analytically or future oriented when he's in the midst of what this situation is right in front of him.
Nick, in your case, who filed for divorce, you or her?
I did.
You did.
I felt I didn't think I had a choice. He was trying to destroy me, take my kids away. So.
Yeah.
Well, she'd already booted him out of the house, so she took the actions to separate.
Yeah.
Yep. Didn't drop the charges when she was the one beating me and I had to run away from her. Nope. She took my kids 1,000 miles away. And she kept piling on more shit. So I said, you know what? The church didn't do anything. I tried to get the church to get involved multiple times. They didn't do a dang thing. So I said, well, I guess, she planned to separate according to the text messages. Wasn't sure if it was a divorce. And I'm like, I was like, I'm pretty sure she's been cheating on me. So I guess I'll file because I'm just sitting here having no clue what's going on, really. And well, she's not with me. She took my kids. And she's not reconciling. So I guess I'll file. I mean, what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, well, okay. The other one I have here is men know that if they piss her off, she won't only take her use that pussy off the table, but they may have strong fear towards her and the legal system that empowers her. So and here I'm listing the possible fears that men might have. It's being taken to the cleaners, losing status, hardworking reputation, fear of starting over from scratch, fear of losing his kids, social discredits, unemployment based on her false accusations, because all of the institutions are against him.
All those
It's
things
more
could
like why
happen to
men.
him.
Well,
That's more like why they
exactly.
won't ever get. That's like the one who knows why they won't get married, or they won't, or they're contemplating why never to get remarried.
Yeah.
Okay, all those things could happen to him and do happen to men, but he's not afraid of them because, for the most part, he doesn't think they'll happen to him, and he doesn't realize how common these things are and what a woman will go to destroy him. Think of it this way. You're with this woman. You made a commitment. You've been living together as husband and wife for years. You've been supporting her. It's not maybe 20% of the time or less. It's just nasty. The rest of the time, you are husband and wife and accommodating each other, and okay, it works. And no, at this point, he's probably not getting any sex, but he stays in there. So he's not thinking about all these worst case scenarios, and he's certainly not thinking that this woman could go all hell bent, want him dead, want to extract all his money, steal from him, commit fraud against him, calumny, perjury, just the most nastiest stuff, and want him dead or in jail. He doesn't think that this woman is capable of all that, but she is. He doesn't know that yet.
Yeah. Well, he might be realizing it while he's going through all of this shit. I mean, he would be stupid not to see it, you know?
He only realizes it after the fact, after she did it to him. And then it takes him 6 months to figure out, oh my God, she actually was capable of that. Women are capable when that flip gets switched to off. It's fucking off permanently. She wants me dead. She has no feelings. Nothing that I did for her in the past counts for anything. She will exploit me. She will trash me. She will keep my kids from me. She will be the most horrendous person, the biggest enemy that he's ever thought. He has no idea that that's coming. So he's not afraid of something he has no idea that's coming.
Yeah, and society tells him, well, wife up these 3 or 4, serve them better. We will get into the propaganda. I'm just trying to establish the baseline here, like how men are thinking. And okay, let's move on here. So this phrase that I often hear, well, simps are just desperate for pussy. I think it's a lame excuse for their simpy behavior. It's like an understanding of male fears and male psychology. Like what do men want in reality? What do they want in the family, right? Why are they behaving like that? So if your pussy was the primary driver of their simpage, they would probably beg for it more, I guess. Well, maybe some men do, but I don't think. I think that this is how women are chop laying men, because they realize that, well, men want sex, right? And then she just starts shifting the goalpost. Well, do this for me, do that for me, right? And then maybe you'll get some. Oh, good boy. Okay, here, St. Valentine. So, okay, I'll put out like once a year, right? They kind of hold these men on the hook. And then I think that if the sexless marriage was the primary concern of simps, then they would probably watch more porn, honestly. Yeah, or eventually leave here. It's just my train of thought.
Okay, you have thrown so much stuff in here, and then
make it make sense.
Make it make sense into what you think it is, that it's meaningless. Okay, you started out simps are desperate for pussy. That's your premise. And then you're trying to explain it.
No,
Okay,
I'm saying that
what's
simps are desperate for pussy. It's a lame excuse. Like, it's just like in
okay,
understatement.
whatever. But that the core is simps are desperate for pussy. Which simps?
The men who are simping for their wives.
Okay, there are two. Okay, but you have kind of folded in another concept that you've not separated in your brain. The fact that you see simps on the internet simping for women. Okay, those simps are simping for a different reason than men that simp in their marriage.
Okay, different kind of simps. But those men could be married too, and they are simping for their wives.
Right, that's a different kind.
So there are unmarried men who are simping for women just to get some luck there, I guess. There are married men on internet who are simping for their wives. And what, there is a third one?
No, those are the two, but they're
Those are the
completely
two.
separate.
Okay. Well, I understand. I do realize that, yeah, there are single simps and there are married simps. My main focus is married simps.
Okay.
Why do so many men simp for their wives?
Well, they want peace, but yeah, sometimes they want pussy. Sure, they could have a dead bedroom and hoping that defending me lady and appeasing her and lacking frame and tolerating disrespect while serving her will get him pussy, but it never really works. Yeah, and it's reinforced by culture. It's probably reinforced by the common tropes. You got one listed down below, and it's reinforced even by the church. I mean, they're not
Yeah,
taught any different.
yeah,
It's the
true.
simp factory.
So, well, they're being brainwashed to simp for women. All men are being brainwashed to simp for women. So
Hold on, hold on. Now you're trying to sneak something else in here. The fact that they're being brainwashed. And that's the active thing. No, it's not. Oh, are they trying? Is there propaganda? Are they being brainwashed? Yes. But again, it's not the active thing. Go back to Genesis 3.
Ay.
Okay. Was Adam being brainwashed to give in to his wife when she presented the apple to him?
No, or fruit. You assume it's an apple, but yeah.
Well, I'm yeah. You know what I mean. I'm not
Yeah.
literally saying
Yeah.
it was an apple. So the point is that simping behavior exists even absent brainwashing or propaganda.
Okay, so propaganda is because recently we started saying that men are being brainwashed by society and by the institutions to simp for women. But then
Yes,
this,
that's
by
true.
that same logic, well, it is true, right? But that same logic, women are being brainwashed to hate on men, right? So if we admit that propaganda exists for women, we have to admit that propaganda also exists for men. It can't just be like, well, women know what they are doing and men are just unaware and they are
But
just
men
being
can do it
brainwashed.
even without propaganda, is what Steve is saying.
Well,
Yes.
exactly. Just like women, like they are horse without propaganda. They always spread their legs, and throughout history, and the
Yes.
Bible also proves it. You know.
And propaganda exists. Everything that you say exists for both men and women. Women, absent propaganda or brainwashing, still want to control their husbands and always have been. It's in the curse, in the garden, in Genesis 3.
Yeah.
Or it's implied in the curse.
Yeah, so what propaganda did essentially, I'm coming back to Yuri Bezmenov's ideological subversion with demoralization, destabilization, crisis, and then normalization, because it just explains it really well, the cycle that is happening. And it worked on a mass scale in the institutions to empower women to castrate men, put Sims in charge who would give more power to women.
So
And
what
now,
did
like
the
on an
propaganda
individual
do?
level, yeah, we can say like, well, people don't have to buy into this propaganda, and it applies to both men and women. But then when it's been reinforced by the institutions, it's really hard to say no to this.
Yeah, so what did the propaganda do?
What do you mean? Like it's trying to persuade people to behave in a certain way?
They're already behaving that way. What did the propaganda do? You already kind of mentioned it.
Just to make it more that kind of behavior.
Exactly. Exaggerate,
Exaggerate, yeah.
permit, encourage.
Mhm.
That the predisposition was already there.
Well, this is why it's so effective. This is why it's so powerful. And I'm just trying to understand. It worked in a similar way on men too, because even though men think differently, right? Then men perceive information differently, and this is why they they can say, they can even put it in one video, say a message to a woman how she's supposed to behave, and based on that, like how men are supposed to behave. It would be your more concise version of propaganda, but then there would be separate propaganda for men and for women. So while women were quote unquote brainwashed to be public whores, essentially be strong, independent, whatever TradCons like to call out, right? Men were brainwashed to worship and simp for her harder, put her in charge of the institutions.
They weren't brainwashed.
I'm using this term, quote unquote.
You can't, don't pull in a different term with a different meaning and say, I'm using this term. You should understand what I mean instead of the accepted definition. But just go with what I'm thinking, even though I'm using the wrong word.
Well, okay, which word would you use, Steve? I mean, men are being brainwashed. What do you want me to say here? Women are being brainwashed. Are both buying into this? Yes, to some extent. But where does this brainwashing come from?
Well, what is brainwashing?
Indoctrination to behave.
No, what
in a certain
is
way.
brainwashing? I didn't ask where it comes from. What is it? What's the definition of brainwashing?
Well, brainwashing. Okay, let's look into it. I'm going to open here a new page so we can all read. Pearl was talking about it, and she was also reading the definition. So it's the process of pressing someone into adopting radically different beliefs by using systematic and often forcible means.
Forcible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
Radically different. Is this radically different? If it's just enhancing pre-existing disposition or inclinations, how is it radically different?
Well, maybe in a way that it contradicts the natural order. That's radically different from the natural order, from the
But
natural
the
law, I would
natural
say.
order is something that needs reason to apply. The natural behavior is not to follow that. And this enhancement of propaganda just is promoting our natural inclinations. It's not radically different.
So it's essentially promoting what's already there. All men are simps by nature. This is what you're telling me.
No, again, you're overstating things.
Well, okay, if all women are whores by nature, why did propaganda work on men so much then?
Okay, first of all, you make sweeping statements that aren't entirely true. All
Okay.
men have within them
Mhm.
an inclination and a part of them that is prone to simping behavior. Now, similarly, all women have within their nature a part that is inclined towards being a whore. So unless it's not all men are simps, all men may have a simp inclination. Some exhibit that more than others. And you can make the same parallel with women. But when you say someone is this, it's taking on a different meaning. It's trying to simplify something that's more complex than that.
Okay. Okay, so the inclination of being a simp, pretty damn strong inclination out there, judging based on how many simps are in the institutions.
Again, let me quibble here. It's not the basic inclination that is that strong. It is the propaganda that has enhanced that and made it more prevalent. So this might again seem like a nuance, but to say that it's a strong implication or a strong inclination, we don't have the data to support that. This is basically all conjecture here. But precise language is really important to understanding what's going on.
Yeah, I understand. I agree. This is why I'm bringing up. We are just refining ideas, guys, here. It's going to be a lot of, going back and forth. Tell us what you think. Okay, here, Tactical says, another word for demoralizing is emasculating, also known as Pavlovian conditioning. Pavlov, brainwashing by incentives to adhere to a frame. Yeah. It's definitely emasculating. So it's empowering women and it's emasculating men. And they were doing it at the same time. Like when they were saying things to women to behave in a certain way, they were telling men to behave in another way, because men are the ones who gave up their power and control. And they are the ones who allowed women to preside in the institutions. They had to give up their power. They had to give up their control over women. Yeah. Okay, Shiv here is asking, do simps only wake up one by one? That's an interesting question.
Nick. How do simps wake up?
Reality hits them pretty hard sometimes.
What's that thing you call
Suppository?
how they get to be red pilled?
I take the suppository.
Yeah. Is that a one by one thing?
Usually.
Jeez. Okay, let's look at how women are waking up. Well, women mostly never wake up, but with harsh consequences. they almost never hit harsh consequences because there are more simps out there who would bail them out than the men who are awakened.
Yeah.
So women technically in practice almost never face the consequence. There will be more that they will have to
Well,
because
I can
you
tell you
know.
about this. It happened
Okay,
Monday.
go ahead.
This crazy woman. I was just sitting there at the bar having a beer after work and minding my own business. And here comes this crazy woman that got upset with me a week or 2 weeks before because I told her to stop hitting the guy that he's just trying to be left alone. She wouldn't stop beating on this guy. And I told her, that's not okay. You need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody stepped in. I was the only one who stepped in. Then she comes by and she starting crap with me again. And I'm like, why are you bothering me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what does she proceed to do? She proceeds to threaten to hit me now. And so I call her out on our crap. Then she says, blah, blah, your faith's a piece of crap. And so, okay, let's go there. And I shut her down publicly in front of everyone. I told her, see, nobody will do anything because you think you have a golden pussy.
Yeah.
And did anybody do anything to her?
No.
No. Technically, she committed a crime. And they still didn't do anything.
Well,
Because
exactly.
I have a
don't.
penis and she has a pussy, and I'm just trying to mind my own business.
Right. But it's also the lack of consequences that nobody is willing to do what
There's no
you did.
consequence.
Yeah, right. Well, you kind of impose some consequence on her, right, for what she was saying and what she was doing, but nobody else did it, And
No, not really. Nick tried to impose a consequence. So then most women will do this. When the consequence comes, then they double down and get more irate, call names, create more of a fuss.
so what? I mean, like what? You just start simping for them? You just start
You
giving
can't,
up?
okay, at that point, Nick tried to put her in her place with words.
It's not going
She
to
doubled
work.
down and became more irate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spank her in the butt, but I mean, like that kind of behavior
Okay.
would put Nick in jail. I'm not saying that he
Exactly.
should do it.
So Nick has limits. He cannot double down on putting her in her place. He can't do that.
Right. Well, yeah, right, because then it would be like, oh my gosh, he harassed me. How dare.
So she easily can escape consequences by doubling down.
Well, true. The best option for men is to disengage and not deal with women at all. I don't blame men for not wanting to deal with women today. I think it's a more honest response, and it's definitely better than simping for them, even though you don't plan on getting married. I see a lot of single simps, and we'll get into them. And look, to some extent, I have nothing against PUA guys. They're doing their own thing, and this strategy works for many men. I'm just challenging some of the ideas here. Okay, so don't take it personally, guys. Okay, so here the PUA guys sims. They don't need strong frame to restrain her. And I think, Steve, you wrote an article a long time ago about plates, different kinds of plates. Do you remember?
Sure, spinning plates.
So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of based on that. So both want, okay, so here the similarity that I see between PUA and Sims is that they want to get into her pants using different strategies. The only difference is PUA guys don't want to marry her, and some Sims marry, but like not all, okay? And a lot of Sims are single. Both are elevating female primary, woman or multiple women, and this is what you were talking about in your article there. And then the core message is you man up, money muscles game. This is the PUA guys. Make yourself attractive to her so that she wants to fuck you. And then the Sims, what we hear from married red pill, married TradCon, man up, serve your better, money muscle spray. A prey could be a form of game, right? So those two are kind of interchangeable. So both involve giving up their frame to satisfy her. PUA guys superficially appear to be better off only because they, unlike TradCon Sims, don't commit to her for a long-term relationship. But they still operate under female frame, and it's something. Look, if it works, it works. I mean, I'm not saying that men shouldn't do it. It's just something to think about, because essentially they are telling men, you man up, do money muscles game, the gym bros, right? And then the TradCons are saying, man up, serve your better. Also money muscles. This is what they want for women, but it's just pray more, pray harder. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, right. It's called appeasement. Appease her. That's what men are encouraged to do. And that's what the PUAs. Well, let me start. I was distracted. That's what the PUAs are trying to do. Appease her to get sex from her. What single simps are doing, appease the women so the woman will select them as a guy who might be worth dating or whatever. Maybe eventually sex. He wants to be chosen by her. Men, or married men, are encouraged to simp to appease the wife so she doesn't go on a tirade and destroy his peace, screw up his children, and disrespect him. All of them are involved with appeasing the woman.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't appease a woman, Nick?
You don't appease her. Oh, well, then they might be actually interested in you.
Oh, what if you got an angry woman and you don't appease her? What happened at the bar?
Oh,
you get booted out.
Yep. She'll try to hurt you. Reputation, destruction, everything. Like they're vile.
They are vile. Yeah. The safest, I think, the safest path for men is not to deal with women. It's the Professor Baskerville's solution. Don't get married, and don't do what the system wants you to do. And the system wants you to appease women.
Okay, are men going to take that advice?
A few might.
Okay, what's your advice to the rest of the men? Actual practical working advice.
Don't deal with women.
We already said men have an inclination to want women. Most men are going to encounter women and at some level pursue women.
Yeah.
Sure. There are some that just say, no, I'm done. But what about for the men who haven't say, I'm done? What's your advice to them?
They're going to do what they're going to do. I won't stop them, but there are risks here. She can take it to
Okay.
the cleaners. She can divorce.
Okay,
Grace,
okay,
she can,
okay,
you know.
okay. Yes, there are risks. Okay, we know there are risks.
So
Okay, now are all women crazy?
yes,
Okay, then it's a matter of degree.
yes,
Are all women batshit crazy?
yes.
No.
Well, I mean, okay, they all need to be restrained. If they are thinking that, okay,
Yes,
I'm going to
different.
find
Okay.
me a special unicorn that I don't need to restrain.
No,
Sorry,
no.
gentlemen.
Okay, again, you're throwing too much shit in here and confusing everything.
Okay.
Okay, your average man is going to want to be around women and even find a woman. Okay, maybe he shouldn't, but he's still going to. So here's it's a simple answer. If she starts being too emotional, and if you see signs of batshit crazy, get away from her and never be around her again.
Steve, but like, do you
Okay,
think
okay.
a lot of men are going to follow that advice?
Yes. Some will.
Yes,
Some will.
Nick, if you ever see that woman who
I'm out.
accosted you in the
I'm
bar
out.
again,
I'm out. I'm
okay,
out.
what are you gonna do? You see her,
I'm gone.
you're
Well,
sitting
this
in
is
a
what I
different bar
say.
and she walks in. What do you do?
I say good night.
And get out, yeah.
Okay,
This is
so
what I
now
say.
you've handled that one woman.
Disengage and don't deal with women. This was my
Okay,
initial
but Nick-
advice.
Okay, Nick, you're sitting at the bar and a woman comes up and talks to you. Are you gonna say,
no,
"Oh,
what happened?
guys, I'm out of here"?
No,
Or are you?
that's weird.
Oh, okay, so you can actually talk to women, but you're
Oh,
smart
yeah.
enough
A lot of times
to
I
stay
do.
away from the batshit crazy woman once
Yep.
once you've identified it. Okay, is this a valid approach, Elena?
Sure. I mean, whatever you guys say, because I'm a woman. I don't know what's the better advice for men. Whatever works for you guys. I just think that it's safer not to even bother. I mean, yeah, understand the fundamentals of female nature. Sure, yeah. Follow the red pill guys. I always refer men to listen to the red pill men. See what they say, because they have better advice. But in general, it's not worth it. Women.
Okay. Why? What's the difference between what you're saying and
Well,
why
you are giving men hope. You know, like that's okay. Like
No, more basic than that. You talked about the word risk. Do men manage risk differently than women manage risk? Do men perceive risk differently? Are men more willing to take risks than women?
Yeah, but just because they are more willing to take risk than women, is it a good idea for them to take that risk?
Immaterial.
No, it matters
immaterial.
because
No,
of the
it doesn't
damage
matter,
of the
because
damage that they can create for themselves.
No, it doesn't matter.
Some decisions are better not to be.
No, it doesn't
not
matter.
to be
Okay,
made.
that's immaterial. You're chasing rabbits here. Men, God created men with the inclination to take risks. It's an essential part of being a man. He uses it in his job, what he does, the choices he makes. Well, I could do this one. It has a higher risk, but a higher return. Or I could do nothing, which has a low risk, low return. Men need to take risks. It's if you tell me as a man to never take a risk, you're telling me to stop being a man. Why are you telling me to stop being a man?
It's not Steve. Okay, what you're suggesting completely contradicts what Professor Baskerville suggests. And you know what? Out of the two ideas, I'm more willing to agree with him, because that solution makes more sense to me, considering all of the facts and our reality that we are experiencing.
What did Plutarch do?
He still took risk, but again, he's mitigating it by not having kids.
Okay, what did Baskerville advise?
Don't give the system what the system wants, and the system wants marriage and kids. Because this is how it can enslave man. This is how the system enslaves man.
What did I ever say that counters what Dr. Baskerville said?
Well, you are saying that in a way, what Professor Baskerville, I think it would be great if you guys had him on. I think we would have a lot of fun if we managed to get Professor Baskerville on. What he says is, no, don't give the system what the system wants. And you say, well, take the risk. Well, marriage is taking risk.
What did I say? Take the risk of what?
Of marriage.
I never said that. Now you're projecting.
You say, well, no, we are talking about marriage here, okay?
No, You can't say one thing, approach it from a different direction, and then change the goalposts.
Okay.
Your premise, hold on. Your premise was men should just avoid women. And I said, no, men don't have to avoid women. When I say men don't have to avoid women and men are willing to take risks, that doesn't mean I'm advocating he get married to the women. Our examples with Nick, hold on. Our examples with Nick, we're talking to a woman in a bar. That's not avoiding women. It's also not marrying women. So to exaggerate, being willing to take a risk does not mean I'm advocating wifing her up. I'm also saying men are not going to avoid women, and they don't have to.
Well, they can talk to women. Just like don't take them seriously. Have fun. This is kind of what the PUA guys are doing. This is why I understand why they are doing it. It works. And it works better than what Sims are doing. If the goal is just to spin plates and to get to know women and to have fun and, just don't get married. Yeah, I mean, avoid long-term relationship. But even short-term, women get what they want. And whenever you give women what they want, and there are women who only want short-term relationships, which is sex, right? And this is exactly what the PUA guys also want, right? So when you give them that, you are still appeasing them, but you are not taking as much risk as the men who wipe them up.
Correct. You can't, it's kind of ineffective to use black and white thinking to understand something that is in shades of gray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But shades of gray can have a boundary, just like black and white has a boundary.
Yeah, I would say what PUA guys do works. And the TradCons, they are mad that men don't wife up these 3 or 4s. They agree. Oh, and you saw the similarity, right? The similar message to the PUA guys and then to the TradCon man. The message is similar. This is why TradCons will never talk to us. They would have better luck talking to somebody who already is appeasing women, who already is trying to satisfy women's delusional standards just to get into the pants, and it's easier to, they think that it's easier to convince those guys to just, or trash those guys for doing what they are doing because their strategy works, than to talk to people who say, no, don't put women on the pedestal, don't give women what women want. And whores want short-term relationship sex, right? The reformed trad wives want a long-term relationship marriage. In both cases, they are prioritizing the plate or the plates. Anyway, let me remove it. Are you there, guys?
I'm here.
I'm just taking a break to let Nick engage with you for a while.
Oh, you want me to engage?
Tell me what you think about about propaganda and men.
Propaganda. Okay, yeah. People are going to try to tell you things contrary to the truth. They'll have all sorts of systems in place generally to do that. You have the media, you have even churches, you have schools, you have media, churches, schools, even government,
Mm-hmm.
and even perhaps even the workplace to reinforce their standard that this is what is acceptable. This is what you must believe. Otherwise, you're not a good person. And so it's like they're shoving down a anti-hierarchical system with a lot of DEI. And a lot of this, it just benefits all the parts of society that are absolute crap and women.
Mm-hmm. And I think that they are imposing their own hierarchy where she's in charge and he's under her. It's just in complete opposition of what the Bible says.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. And it's the water it's the air you breathe. It's the water you swim in. I mean, it is what it is. It's what we call the gynocentrism in the red pill.
Yeah.
That's just the water and air you swim in, the air you breathe. It's everywhere. It's infiltrated every aspect of society, even the household, churches, schools, workplace, etc. And so it's a propaganda. It's not true. But, it's shaping a person and leading them to believe that this is the way the world is when it's actually not.
Yeah. Tacticus here says, if you think you are not susceptible, it will work better. Mm-hmm. And then it starts in the kindergarten with a double standard of assault. Yeah. It starts very early, very, very early. Yeah. The kids, they learn it really fast. Yeah. Okay, here it's reflected in the malls. The males' floor departments are in the below ground level and the females are floors above. That's so true. I haven't it's been a while since I actually went shopping to the big mall, but yeah, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. So what's the solution?
I thought it was just because women like getting on escalators and elevators and men could care less.
No, it puts women above, like
Oh,
physically. Yeah, they are above him. He's like serving her, and it's so in many times it's so subversive and it's indirect. Oh, and then my father-in-law, he asked me to watch some silly TV shows from the 1970s. I only could survive one episode, guys. I don't remember. It was like the Meathead. The Meathead. Gosh, I
Meathead.
forgot the name
Yeah,
for it.
All in the Family.
All
Yeah, I
in the
watched
Family.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Oh my gosh, I couldn't. I barely survived the first 25 minutes, and then I
Good
said,
programming.
we are
Definite
never
programming.
watching. We are never watching it again because, yeah, and it was in a comedic sense, and the comedy propaganda with comedy was better perceived and embraced by others. Through humor, they were pushing a lot of indoctrination there, how men are supposed to behave, how women were behaving. Yeah. So, what would be the solution to all of that?
Dictator.
Dictator. Okay. Here I have a solution that the TradCons are proposing. Okay. Let's just you gentlemen, you suck it up, you man up, you do better, you gain status, money, muscles, and pray with her more, just love her more, marry her, go to church with her, and pop up more babies.
Doesn't work.
Okay, what do you think would work?
What's the problem?
The problem,
Right.
okay, I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is that women are in charge.
Yep. And what did you call those people who are promoting that
Seems.
solution?
Oh,
No,
the TradCons.
And what's the con stand for?
Oh, traditional conservatives.
What?
No, it's a con.
Corn.
What's
Ah,
the other thing it stands for?
yes.
Yeah.
Corn.
What is it?
Corn artist.
No. What does it actually stand for?
Well, traditional conservatives, no.
Oh, okay. That word. What was that word?
Conservatives.
Conservatives. Okay, what are they conserving?
Nothing.
Feminism.
Okay, you see, when you go into the words, why are they wrong? Because conservatives are wrong because they're conserving the status quo, which is wrong.
So, what would be the solution to the corn then? The
Dictator.
dictator.
Okay, on a family basis, there's a more pleasant word for that, Nick.
On a patriarch.
Patriarchy.
Yeah.
There you go.
The solution is patriarchy.
Yeah, well, I know that. I was just okay.
And
Yeah.
okay, how does patriarchy work? It's men teaching boys to be men.
Uh-huh. Okay, here is a video for you guys. Tell me what you think. There is a lady, she's talking about male psychology. Okay, it's already suspicious, but let's give it a try. Let's see what she says. Okay, we'll have some fun here. Okay, I'll stop. Wait, not this one. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I forgot how to do it. Okay. How do I do it? Stop screen and share screen. Oh, here you go. Okay, found my bullshit folder on Instagram. Let's do it. Let's have some fun here. And I just saw it today. Oi, where was it? maybe it was on YouTube. An older lady. She was an older lady talking about. It was right before the live stream that I saw her. Hold on. Maybe it was YouTube. I didn't register where it was. I thought that it saved the. Okay, let me check again here. Saved. I thought I saw her. Okay, hold on. Let me remove it for now. I'll try to find it on my phone because I watched it on my phone. She was talking about the boys' issues. Okay, I didn't recognize her. Okay, she was covered with a little boy. Somebody else shared her video. Sorry, guys. Okay, 1 second. Yes, that's the one. Yes, I'm looking for. Okay. Bullshit. But it doesn't, I don't see it. Let's just look into saved. Okay, here it is. Somehow I didn't save it in my bullshit folder. It's somewhere else. Okay, let's watch this.
World and more girls survive. Boys don't survive as much because they are incredibly neurologically fragile, emotionally fragile too.
I'll start it over
that mean-
because I didn't realize I didn't edit. Hold on, guys.
Are neurologically more fragile than girls. More boys are born in the world and more girls survive. Boys don't survive as much because they are incredibly neurologically fragile, emotionally fragile too. What that means is they're more prone to aggression, behavioral problems, ADHD-like behaviors, which is distractibility. They're more sensitive to stress from a very young age. They are not the same as girls. They don't learn the same way as girls. They need lots of physical expression during the day. If they don't get it and they're forced to sit in circle time, like little girls can sit in circle time, little boys go off the rails and then they're labeled as having attentional issues. And so we are educating little boys today like little girls, which is why they can't keep up. So if you ask me, we should separate little boys and little girls. In terms of the neurological fragility, they need that attachment figure even more than the little girls. When it comes to going to school, maybe we should separate little boys and little girls when they're little so we can cater to their individual needs. Boys are neurologically more fragile than girls. More boys in the world.
hold on,
And more
I don't
yeah,
think
it's
they're not neurologically more fragile. This is bullshit. Because what happens when you have these women that decide to become men and they can't hack it a lot of the time? What ends up happening? They can't even survive 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Men
Because women are the coddled, secured, pandered to sex. Men are not.
yeah.
So what's the main problem with what she's saying?
It's a woman telling how boys should be raised. That's the problem.
Bingo. Oh, you get a star for that one. That's
I know,
the exact answer I was looking for.
Yeah, how like every time a woman talks about male psychology, how men are thinking, how men okay, you can ask questions, but then talk to men, ladies. You don't know what you're talking about. Then they give advice to men how to behave, how to be men. Yeah, she still evaluates men from her female perspective.
Tactics.
What? Female induced
No, the
PTSD.
comment down there. The last one, no, the one below that.
Okay. Degenerate sister. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and then they start talking about how boys should be raised. You just give them physical and see here. Okay, you just educate boys, exercise them more, basically wear them out more physically, so that they don't have any time to process what is going on elsewhere, because they are so fragile. It's like, first of all, you instill this feeling of, I'm going to use the word insecurity because I can't come up with anything else right now, in men. And then you tell men how to be men, how to behave in a manly way. Well, you just exercise and you just do like, what will it raise? Money, muscles, prey, guys. What kinds of men will become from your educational program? It's going to be the Sims. the controllable man that she can control. Because, well, okay, let's just give them the exercise, and then
Yeah, they need that.
they need that,
They do
right?
need that. Yes.
Well, and see, this is the reason why it lands okay in certain cycles, is because people are like, well, yeah, but men need to be strong, right? But men need to have the muscles.
It actually does raise testosterone. And it's actually really good, because the higher the testosterone, generally, the less bullshit they put up with. The school system, by making you sit down and be still and being surrounded by a bunch of women, creates more controllable and docile men.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. Like, yeah, men need physical workout, and yeah, but notice how it's a woman saying that, and then everyone is like, oh yes, she's saying that, when a man.
Men have been saying something similar for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. You read R.P. Thor's book on dominant masculine presence, he is talking about it there. But like, why not to listen to men? Why do we default to listening to women? It's just,
Oh, they must have ADHD because they're young and can't sit still, and they have all this energy. Like, oh, you mean they're males?
yeah, right. Well, it's a attentiveness disorder. How did she phrase it? That they are prone to the lack of attention, and they're basically so inferior to women. Women are so much better at learning.
When the teaching style's not challenging and not fun, and the material's boring as shit, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the entire school system is designed to make boys into defective girls. Then what do we expect? Because this kind of indoctrination, this ideological subversion, the demoralization that Yuri Bezmenov was talking about, it lasts at least 25 years. This is how long it takes to raise a generation. It starts very early, from the kindergarten, like Tactical said, very early. So the mummies who are obsessed with the private school and what was it, like, educating their kids at home, homeschooling, yes. Like, your kids will still go to a kindergarten at some point, right? Because they need to socialize. You can't just isolate your kids, and then
what kind of crap is that?
they will absorb it in the kindergarten.
No. I've heard this argument specifically from women so damn many times. They need to be around other children. They need to go to kindergarten. They need to go to school so they can socialize and learn how to socialize. What a crock of shit. Okay, you know what? Throughout the ages, children, homeschooled children who never went to a bit of school, or children raised in before public schooling, lived in a family, interacted with mom and dad and other siblings and their cousins. And when they went to church, they saw other children there. They learned how to coexist with, talk to adults, talk to older children, talk to younger children. You mean they didn't learn socialization outside of school?
No, okay, by that logic, then the kindergarten indoctrination starts with the kindergarten.
Yeah, and in the U.S., it depends on the state,
Daycare.
but there's no reason, there's no requirement that kids go to kindergarten if you homeschool.
Oh, yes, yes.
There's no valid reason that a child needs to go to school for socialization. That's a completely female concept that's been pushed on us. That's propaganda.
Yeah, that's propaganda. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
actually-
went to a kindergarten, but back then it was pretty decent. We had a good
Well, kindergarten's not a bad thing. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that. But this whole idea they have to go to school for socialization is counterproductive. Because the homeschool kids who are not with 20, 30, 60 other people of the same peer group, same age, you know what happens to those homeschool kids? They learn how to deal with people of many different ages and how to deal with older people, older children, siblings, younger children, peers. But their whole world is not comprised of peers and socializing with peers. No, they deal with men, they deal with women. Ideally, the father takes them out, does some outside tasks, teaches them how to change the tire in a car, do a little bit of carpentry, men or women, boys or girls. And so, when they're learning those skills, are they learning socialization?
Yes.
Not really. They're learning how to get along in society. They're
Yeah.
learning duty. They're learning work.
Yeah, I didn't socialize too much with my classmates. Probably for the best. Especially during the teen years from, I want to say 11 till 16, I was homeschooled. Yeah. Tacticals here says, a school used to be one room with all ages where children learned from adults, not this Austrian military model of education for indoctrination.
Hold on. Was it Austrian or was it Prussian?
Does it matter?
Well, it exists, therefore it doesn't matter. But for accuracy purposes, yes, it came from Germany, but I believe it came from northern Germany, the Prussian part of Germany. Not from the southern part of the Berlin area or Austria. But, in the big picture, it doesn't matter. But when you're stating something, I like to get the details right.
Yeah, we know. You've been bothering me with details the whole...
Because if you misstate something, people are more apt to attack you or misunderstand you. So precise language is more important than people think. Oh, no, it's not. You got the general idea. Okay.
Yeah, Steve loves his precision. Yeah.
It's not a bad quality.
It's not.
I'm
not
an
saying it's
annoying
bad.
guy because I'm an engineer.
Mhm.
Close enough is not good enough. State it precisely. Otherwise, someone's going to take that, if it's approximately
it's
right,
true,
and
it's true.
apply it, and they're going to end up with a bad result.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. Yeah, guys, if you want to refine the ideas, come over here. Steve will
I'll
put you in
annoy the
line.
shit out of you.
I know he's been beating the shit out of me for the past few days. My goodness. Anyway. So yeah, we need patriarchy. How do we get to patriarchy?
Later.
Dictator? I don't think we are ready for a dictator, Nick. No, not when
Doesn't
women
matter
are
if you're
in
ready
charge.
for it. Doesn't
Huh?
matter if you're ready for it or not. That's the point. You don't have to be ready for it.
Yeah, but who is going to vote for, like, practically,
You
like, who
don't
is
have to
going?
vote. You don't have to vote. You don't get it.
Okay.
You just take power.
How do you
doesn't
get
quite happen
power
that way
then?
either.
I just, like, judging based on where we are right now, it just doesn't, like, I wish we got there yesterday. I agree with
A
you,
female
but
telling
No,
me
you
like
don't.
when the dictator can and can't come. It's hilarious.
You say you wish it
I'm not,
would
I'm
come.
just looking at, like, will those seams in the institutions, like,
Okay.
what, like, how do we get there?
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you how we get there. You don't want it. I'll tell you that right
You
now.
don't.
You don't want it to happen.
Nope, females do not want it.
Because in order for that to happen, the existing system must collapse.
Hmm.
That means economic collapse. It means society collapse, tax base collapses, law and order collapses, and it gets ugly. Okay, this has happened to other societies in history. There's collapse. Out of the collapse, people are so fed up. We need a leader. We need a strong leader. Did Napoleon Bonaparte, how did he gain power, Nick?
Well, you mean the proto-communists or Marxists took over the Jacobins during the French Revolution, talking about equality, equality for everyone. And that society quickly disintegrated to the most terror campaigns and, what would you say, instability for that country. And now that great instability of fraternity and equality for everyone, one man took power.
Oh, but from that stage, they basically fell apart and collapsed, right?
Pretty much.
It would
And
be
then
an interesting.
Strongman steps in and says, I'm in charge. Follow me. He's not necessarily a nice man. In fact, he's not a nice man because he's ruthless. He's the dictator. He will take power, and people will allow it to happen and even cheer it happening because we do need somebody to take charge. That's how we get out of here.
You should talk about this with Plutarch, see what he thinks.
He's going to agree because there is no examples of people easing themselves out of a decline in morality and the Roman Empire.
I just don't think the
Of
dictator
course
will
you don't.
come. I
Of course
don't
you
think. Well, hey, let me finish. I don't. I don't think the dictator will come first. I think the society will fall apart first, and then people will
Exactly.
be
Yes.
desperate, and
It's
then
already happening. Just not economically yet. It's already falling apart. Just not economically yet.
yeah.
I mean, same thing happened in Roman Empire. Same thing happened with many warring states throughout time. The same thing happened. What do you say? Mussolini, Mustache Man.
Yeah.
Well,
in
Nick, can things
Spain,
change for the
Spain with
better?
Franco. Yes, and many times in those societies, things did happen
No.
for the better.
Okay, no, that's not my question. Do things ever change for the better on a sustained permanent basis without first going through a collapse?
Generally not. Generally not.
Well, can you think of any examples where that has happened?
Where let's restate it so I address it correctly.
Can you think of any historical examples where a society, civilization was in decline and turned the corner and fixed their issues and improved on a sustained basis without an intervening collapse?
It's a lot of history to cover in my head. Okay. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm not saying
Yes.
there doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, that's my point.
Right.
In general, maybe always, we can't think of any exceptions. Before improvement, collapse must happen.
Yeah. So we need more desperate women and more single.
Society is already collapsing.
It's already
right now.
collapsing. Yeah.
The economic part has not entirely collapsed. That's the last straw. I think. Our
Yeah,
government is not even run by our own country.
So here's the thing. Back to the TradCons. Many TradCons are saying, "Oh, you just need to join our traditional church, and get married and have kids, and we will outbreed them, and we will turn this around." Okay, not
There was a thing where
necessarily a bad idea, but it doesn't work.
No.
And in order
It doesn't
for
prevent-
you to go ahead, Nick.
I'll give you a historic. I'll agree with you. I'll give them a caveat. With the fall of the Roman Empire in the West, what was the glue that held the Western part of society together through all the collapse? It was the church.
The church, and specifically monasteries.
Yeah. See? But society still went through great collapses and changes.
Okay, Shiv
And
is
many-
asking here.
And there are many dictators throughout.
Yeah, okay. So that was the other side of what I was going to say. There are the TradCons who say, we can fix this. We just need to conserve what we have and promote it. That's not accelerationism. We don't need to go through hard times to improve. I don't think it works that way. Then there are those people on the other side. Oh, yes, collapse is inevitable. Let's accelerate the collapse so it comes sooner. Again, you don't have to do that. It'll come when it comes. You don't need to do God's work. Elena says, we need more desperate women. Don't worry about that.
It's already
It
happening.
will happen. It is happening, and it will happen more until it reaches enough. You don't even need to hope for that. All you need to do is, live a moral life, provide for yourself. What happens will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I don't see how. Okay, they say that. Oh, another big one, guys. You're going to love it. The purpose of man, and this is the same guy who is simping for his wife. He's on my Twitter. You can go check through responses that I left. Same guy who is simping for his wife. He sends out this message that it's the man's purpose to marry and to have kids and all of that stuff. And I'm like, no, this is not. And I've talked to my husband about this specific topic, that male purpose is not marriage and kids. They want you to think that it is, just because it makes it easier for them to manipulate you and to control you, because the moment you, and the system is designed in a way to appease women and to give women everything they want. So he puts a ring on her finger, he becomes her slave, right? And then he has kids with her, she enslaves him even more because she can extract more resources from him, right? And then he's saying to this man that this is your male mission and duty to provide for the family, to pop up as many babies, and to get married, basically.
Oh, Elena, do you realize that you're wrong?
Who? I'm wrong?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Nick, what was in Genesis 3? After the fall, we already talked about the curse. What was God's command?
Reiterate, be fruitful and multiply.
Oh, yeah, that would be the one.
Yeah. Okay, so look, I'll make a distinction here. The normative and natural aspect of man is to do the work that God has given, tend the garden. But a part of that is, to marry, have kids, take dominion over the earth. That's very natural, normative. Is that all your purpose? No, you also have your mission, which is to tend the garden and, have dominion over it. Did the apostle Paul sin by not being married? No, but he still took dominion by teaching the truth and spreading the good news of Jesus Christ around.
So it does not mean that all men have to get married. It doesn't mean that during all times, no matter what happens, it's your duty to get married and have children. No, it doesn't. But it also does not mean what Elena was saying. Absolutely don't get married and have children. No, it's for now. It's for now. It's not wise to go down that path. Soon, it will be again. It will return.
I'm not staying forever. When the laws change, when the current system collapses, the laws change in favor of men, when men get automatic custody, when patriarchy is back, essentially, then it would be a good idea to get married and to have kids. Right now, this is just slavery.
I will say this, Elena, this is where you're right. A man's primary purpose is not just to have kids and serve his wife.
See?
Yes.
I can be right sometimes, Steve.
You are right, but you never qualified it and said for right now under these conditions.
Well, we are talking about right now.
No, we're never talking. Okay, what you think we're talking about is not what others think we're talking about, because you haven't set the parameters and defined the boundaries. You make a general statement and said, well, that's what I meant. Yeah, but you never defined the boundaries or the time frame.
I always say that within the current system. Okay, if people I don't know, Steve, you tell me. I always specify with the current system, with existing laws. The laws could change in the future. Yes, then it would be a good idea, but it's kind of implied, no? Or do I have to be specific and overly explain myself and use all of these words that you tell me don't use?
I know that that's your belief, but this time when you stated it, you didn't put that caveat in there.
Oh, okay. You got me
That's
one
the
time when I didn't state it. Okay,
be-
now I have to repeat it.
because
I have to use it all the time for right now.
it
Right
is
now.
important because we live in irregular circumstances right now, an irregular legal system that's not normative throughout history. That's contrary to the natural law. That's why it's important to make that caveat. Otherwise, in any time in history, you say, yeah, this is the most natural thing to do is man has his purpose. He tends the garden, takes dominion, and he has wife and kids, and he raises them up in the fear and admonition of the Lord. Sure, that's the normative situation. But that's why that's why we have to make that caveat is because we're in a non-normative situation.
And you do not want to leave what you say as open to misinterpretation. You may think, oh, that's redundant. I've said it in the past. People don't think that way. They don't realize the thoughts or the boundaries or caveats that you have in your mind when you're stating something.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with how you phrase it. I always mean right now. I mean, because what is right now, it's not what was before.
Steve, you think of the same thing
sure.
I'm thinking?
Yes, it's a woman telling me, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I missed it once. And see how much I have to put up with now. Yeah. Yeah, so right now, just don't get married.
That's the most safe. That's the safest option. It's not the only option, but I would say it's probably the wisest option. However, men are still going to want to get married. And so that's part of risk reduction.
So what would you say here to a counter argument? I'm going to formulate it from one of the comments that I've recently received. A lot of families choose not to. Okay, let me. So there is one thread vibe. She says, "I'm not sending my boys to public education. Why would I want the feminized teaching staff to teach my boys to be quiet, well-behaved, and obedient? Why do so few parents talk about this?" They actually talk about it quite a bit, especially in the thread conservative space. And then I told, what?
Keep going. Keep going. I have a
You have a thought?
Caveat.
Yeah, okay. So and this is kind of like, I view it as LARP because they now basically they now criticize the school, and then they're like, well, see how better we are for educating our kids at home. And I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but realistically, how many people will be able to do that? Not many. So I'm happy for you that your husband can afford you to stay home and can pay for your kids' private education. Most women have to work and keep a family. Our society is not designed for single family income because women are in the workforce and they are in charge of the institutions. And then there is another comment here. A lot more families can do this, but choose not to because of materialism. They would have to live in a smaller home, drive older cars, go without expensive vacations, etc. Obviously, some with creeping student loans and debt won't be able to. It's what you are willing to sacrifice.
My caveats here.
Go ahead.
Homeschooling many times, even the co-ops, is actually just as feminized, if not worse, in this aspect for the men, not the girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're taught by a bunch of women. A lot of times there's no man in the picture. It's the women doing the educating.
Yeah,
And
right. That makes sense.
so you're actually still creating these docile, effeminate children that don't know how to men that don't know how to speak up and do difficult things. Now, if the father's involved, it can be a very different picture, or if it's like a classical Christian school, it could be a different picture if there's men involved teaching the children. And men need outlets, especially young men need outlets for competition, for masculine purposes, team building, competition. A lot of times these private or even classical Christians, or especially homeschools, do not have this outlet. It's actually it's actually detrimental, I would say, to raising these young boys for a long time without that outlet. There could be ways that they can mitigate that with competitive sports, outside of school, or perhaps just send the boys to school at 16, high school, and they figure it out, or better yet, graduate at 16 and go to college or something, or get a occupation, or a trade.
Well, yeah, who is in charge of that homeschooling? Is it the mother or is it
It's
the
usually
father?
a lot of
Yeah, see.
Bingo.
That's
Okay,
the
go
problem.
back to that first statement from that woman. Oh, I'm not going to send my kids to school. A homeschooling environment is so much better, implying I can do a better job educating my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a traditional.
Well, this is why I called it
homeschooling
LARP.
mother.
I called it, guys. I call it LARP.
Yeah, well, yeah. But what is she missing? She was saying, I, the woman, can educate my kids better. Lady, maybe, but only if you are under the authority of your husband.
Yeah.
And it's a joint venture, but he's in charge and you're doing these tasks and he's independently educating them on other things. It's not your responsibility to educate the children. It's your husband's responsibility, and he will assign you tasks as his helper in the education process. So it's a matter of hierarchy and patriarchy in homeschooling to produce good men and good women of the future.
Well, because see, what
it has
happens
to be patriarchal.
Yeah, what happens in the schools right now, they go and they mostly have female teachers there. So if the mother is doing all of the teaching at home and she's homeschooling her kid, the kid who would still have to go to school to pass some exams and interact with the female teachers, and she is also going to teach him
Well,
in
hold
female
on.
ways.
What? Why? How? Explain
Well, have
that.
you done homeschooling, Steve?
Yes.
We're talking about a co-op, Elena. You're talking about a co-op. Right.
Well, yes. So it's she's just replacing the indoctrinated camp in school by indoctrinating this boy herself.
Yes. Okay. But then you said, and then the kids would have to go blah, blah, blah for exams and whatnot. What?
Well, they do. They
No,
still
they
have
don't.
to get the certificate from school. You have to. I had to do it, and I was homeschooled.
Okay. It's not the way it works here. They don't have to do that. It depends on the state.
See.
Okay. It depends on the state that they live in. Some states just say, hey, you can do whatever you want. Now, will that at 16 or 18, will the kid have a high school diploma? No. What's the remedy for that, Nick?
GED, go to college,
GED.
or send them to high school for 2 years.
A graduate education diploma, or whatever it is. He goes to the state at that point and takes the test. And you get the equivalent of a high school graduation certificate, which for all legal purposes is the exact same thing. Now, he doesn't have grades. Kid doesn't have grades. How can they get into a good college? You may think, they don't have the track record. You know what? This kid has a GED. And now the kid can still take the ACT, college entrance exam, And he can still fill out essays. And do you know what colleges and universities actually love? Homeschooling kids, because they know how to learn.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
true.
do better. So in my homeschooling experience, my second wife, her two daughters, we homeschooled them. They came out of the Canadian education system. Their reading was very poor.
Mm.
Okay, so what did I do? Phonics. Okay, got this book on phonics. Here's the sounds. And it didn't take long. Okay, now we construct those together in words. Now you can sound out a word using phonics. Math. Poor math skills. What did I do? Okay, first of all, get some flashcards. You're going to learn your multiplication tables. A couple weeks, they had the multiplication tables.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to homeschool. Okay, great. My ex-wife looked it up. We found this Saxon math course. And there is actually programs for using Saxon math. How do you do it? Do you have to teach the kids? Hell no, you don't have to teach them. Here's the book, kid.
Well, Steve, it would be
And
interesting to talk to my husband about this topic too, because he was homeschooled, and it would
yeah,
be just.
and
I don't want
so
to. I don't want us to go into that route because we are talking
my
about.
point is that
Mhm.
you do not have to be qualified and have educational ability to teach your kids.
But the
You can
father's presence.
accomplish. Okay, the
The
father's presence, but let me finish this. If you have the right curriculum, the kids can go through and learn that. Read it
Mhm.
on their own. It's an acquired skill. And then they do a bunch of problems, get the solutions, check their homework, and they can go through a course and progressively learn it on their own. People have great ability to learn on their own. And that's a skill that's not taught in the schools.
So, Steve, when I got sent to in-school suspension, I learned more with just the textbook. I did better in school suspension than I did under
Mhm.
my teachers.
Exactly. And women specifically don't understand how this happens. No, someone has to teach them. If they're homeschooled, I have to teach them, and I don't know math. I don't care. You can teach something you do not know if you have the right resource and tell the kid to learn it and check their work.
Well, but yeah, but the checking is necessary and has to be done by dad.
No, it doesn't. He has to supervise it. How did I do it? Okay.
What
Do
if the
the
kid doesn't understand something? Like how would you deal in that case? And you
okay,
don't
let
know.
me finish. Here's the book. And here's the teacher's guide that has all the answers in it. Do the lesson, do the homework, go take the answer guide, go correct your homework, and then show me the result. And you can see if the kid's doing fine or not.
Well, when they have the answers, this is the problem. We used to have those books too back in. Guys, we're going to do a separate live stream. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic. They gave you the answers, so like you would just copy and paste the answers there. They would give you the solution how to solve the problem. And then you just copy and paste, and you don't actually realize what you're doing there. It's not helping a kid to learn.
Cart, horse. You're getting the cart before the horse. Are you saying that my stepdaughters defied me and didn't follow the procedure to do the work and cheated by getting the answer
All
without
kids
doing
do
the
it,
work?
Steve. I did it back in school too when I saw chemistry equation, and you're like, okay, what is going on there?
Okay.
Look at the back of the book to see the answer. Okay, I'll plug it in there.
Okay, so now as the father, you look at it. Oh, kids, you're getting them all right. Great. You must really know this. Now let me come up with some of my own, and I'll give it to you. You do these since you're so good at it.
Well,
oh, busted. Okay, busted. Now, how do I know it worked? Because the kids went back to public school. And in order to be placed in public school, they had to be tested to make sure they fit in the grade.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how well they did on their math?
Very well.
98th percentile.
Nice.
Okay, why did this work? The patriarchal mode and setting the parameters, and the kids taught themselves. Well, yes, I helped at times, but it didn't require that much effort on my part. And they learned all this shit in about 2 to 3 hours a day.
Nice, nice, nice.
And they excelled far beyond what they would have learned by spending 8 hours a day in school.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wanted to shout out Doug MP. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to Pearl and other people on that show. Thank you, Doug, for showing up. We appreciate you and we love Pearl. So yeah, thanks for being on the show the other day. Pearl and I appreciate it. Yeah, we love you too, guys. So yeah, just, I don't know if he's here. Yeah, that live stream was very interesting. And the topic was about brainwashing, actually, about propaganda. And we came to the conclusion that men are being brainwashed during that live stream. So go watch it, guys, if you are interested. Okay, here Tacticus says, Proverbs. Here, O sons and fathers' instruction, and be attentive that you may gain insight, for I give you good precepts. Do not forsake my teaching. Do you have any thoughts on that?
They're talking, basically confirming what Steve was saying. Yeah. Your fathers give you instruction. It's usually a way to life.
And fathers are very wise in most cases. If you're skimping and doing shortcuts, you don't think the father's smart enough to realize it and figure out, oh, okay, I'm going to take care of this.
I can tell you.
Not in harsh ways.
I saw this in my own sons when I was still there, and I remember my dad kept calling me out on my crap when I was a kid too. When he was calling me taking shortcuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, when I usually didn't take his instruction, it usually bit me in the ass. So, yep. It's important to follow that father's instructions.
It is important that the more you follow, I've noticed it with my dad too. Some of the instructions that I followed, it turned out okay. Some that I didn't, I was like, oh my gosh, I should have listened, you know. But I tried to follow. In general, this is why my life is not as messed up, I would say. And I do follow my husband's instructions too. So yeah, it helps. Ladies, just follow your husband's instructions and obey your husbands. Yeah. Well, anyway, do you have any final thoughts? I think we will wrap it up here, and we will think of another topic to talk about.
No, I've said enough.
You've said enough. Nick, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Well,
We can't hear you. Are you still thinking?
no, I said I'm good.
Ah, you're good. Okay, I didn't hear you. Sorry. Yeah, I'm having an ear problem again. I think water got stuck in my ear, and it's kind of like hitting for the whole time that I've been sitting here. This allergies are
The
annoying.
solution will come in its
Yeah.
time. You do not need to look forward to that time, but you do need to be prepared. and persevere through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we are already headed that way. It's just, yeah, ladies, unfortunately, we are going to see more single, desperate women out there, and there is no solution for you there. Like, I don't want to tell women, well, go get married by a simp, because then I know where that marriage ends. And then I don't want to tell simps like, well, yeah, go wife up those whores, because it's like, it's just the message in reverse. You tell women, go marry a simp because this is the best you can get, but then you are encouraging the marriage, and then it will be more people ruined in the end because of that. She's going to destroy that simp, and we know that. So just enjoy your singleness, stay, be a single cat lady, find yourself some girlfriends, and love yourself more. You don't need to get married. I mean, I'm just trying to look out for simps out there. Simps will wipe them up anyway. It's just, yeah.
Okay. Then what's your advice to those women? That
if they get married to a simp?
Yeah.
Be loyal and don't destroy him in the divorce court, but they're not going to listen to me.
Nope. So your advice to her is what she shouldn't do. What is your advice to her for what she should do for that woman who does get married?
To a simp?
Listen to a man.
To a man. Listen to his lead, obey him, do what he says.
Don't fight him for leadership and obey him.
Yeah.
Okay, that is okay. You don't want that choice? Well, tough. Right now, that for women, that's your best option.
Yeah.
Not get married and control him. That's a disaster.
Well, in that case, this is why I keep saying,
marry him, obey him, follow his leadership.
We already know that they won't obey them. They will marry them, because this is why I don't see any point even in trying to convince women to marry, or even giving them that option, because if they marry, they will destroy that man's life. We know that they are not going to obey him. We know that they are not going to submit to him. There is no, like, we talk about incentives for women. I don't think that women need incentive to obey their husbands. I think women need harsh consequences for disobedience. They need restraint, and they are not going to agree to it, not voluntarily. Yes, she will get married to a simp. We can talk about it. We can do another live stream on this topic. She can get married to a simp, but she won't respect him, because he's a simp. He wiped you up, like those 3 or 4 reformed chicks. Here's
the problem.
They know who they are.
Here's the problem. You're confusing two things again. I said, here's your only option. This is good advice. And you're saying, oh, women never take the good advice and they won't follow that. Therefore, I'm not going to tell them what the good advice is. They're two separate things. One, it's good advice. It's what the Bible says. Two, it rarely works. Okay. If 2 doesn't work, go back to number 1. That's defining the problem. So
what's number 1? Number 1, you get married.
Number 1, if you get married, I'm not saying to get married.
Okay.
If you marry a man, obey him, let him make the decisions, and follow his lead.
Let him.
Not let him. follow his lead.
Okay.
You don't have the authority to allow him to do anything.
But she does, because she's married to
No,
a
she
king.
doesn't. Not in God's order. Okay, that's
Yeah.
you're bringing in your modern perception.
Yes.
He has the authority. You don't allow him to have the authority. Just stop fighting him for the authority.
Yeah, you can tell this to them. They want.
It's okay. End of advice.
And
Now
okay,
you're just
what's the
saying-
other? What's the second option?
There is no second option. You're saying women are gonna fuck it up. Yep, you're right. Because they didn't follow the rules. Okay, so ladies, what should you do? Follow the rule. Don't try and find a workaround. Are you going to succeed? Most of the time, no, because you're going to fuck it up.
Because you don't obey him. Yeah. Well, I see so many, even the traditional conservatives' wives, they really don't want men to have the authority in the family, and they say, well, our men don't tell us to do those things, whatever it is that they don't want to do anyway, you know.
Yep. Okay, now you better close out the stream.
Yeah, we will come up. I'm thinking of doing another live stream on like trad wives and traditional conservatives. I'll give you more examples of that, guys. I have plenty. Anyway, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. What are you doing on Wednesday? Are you doing anything on Wednesday?
Yeah, we are, but I don't know what it is. It's not my
Okay.
turn. It's either Nick or
Not my
Plutarch
turn.
doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's Plutarch's turn.
Yeah. Oh, happy Memorial Weekend to everyone. Yeah, thank you for reminding us, Tacticos. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel, and we'll see you all next time. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. If you're new here or if you're a returning subscriber, we appreciate you. Have you watched Anita Mokiat's saga by me, your Red Pill Babushka? If you haven't yet, we highly recommend you to watch this mini-series to better understand women, how they think and how they manipulate men. Anita Mokiat's saga is a comic parody of female nature and female behavior that includes Anita's adventures, her special and unique experiences, and various interactions with other funny characters. I created Anita to pick on female delusions, entitlement and promiscuity, and to show the reality of corrupted by women institutions. The first season shows the process of finding herself through self-worth, self-love and self-respect meditation retreats and relationship sessions with various female gurus. The second season reveals her godly path to Jesus and her true power over men, femininity.
Hi, I'm Anita Mokiats. I used to be on OnlyFans, but not anymore. Not after I found Jesus. I'm a trad wife now. I love Jesus. I'm not a feminist. I want a perfect husband with kids because now I feel that it's my true purpose in life to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. Because I deserve a family. I want to be married to the right man. So join our church and wife me up.
I will actually plug Plutarch's wife here. Watch her Anita Moorcat series on just talking about she gives these like acting. She takes on many faces and shows the reality of the church and trying to get men to buy into this traditional TradCon bullshit on wifing up all these fucked up women. there is a large amount of truth in her comedic series that I think men should watch.
I hope that you enjoy our videos. Please tell us what you think about them. We appreciate your feedback. Also, please like the videos. It helps us to build more awareness. And share our videos with your friends and those who need to see them. You never know, but you may save a man's life if he is more aware of female nature. You don't have to say anything when you are sharing our videos. You can just copy and paste them and let the chips fall where they may. Please watch our older live streams on both YouTube channels. You might also enjoy Marry Me Red Pill podcast by your Red Pill Babushka, based on the survey for biological men. It's an ongoing survey that you can participate in. Please share it with other men. The more men participate in this survey, the more statistically significant the results are. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels if you enjoy our content and if you'd like to see more content like this. Join us for interesting discussions with the Resurgence of Sanity guys on Saturdays at 9:15 a.m. Pacific on sBarre YouTube channel and on Wednesdays at 5:45 p.m. Pacific on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. Once again, thank you so much for joining us for interesting discussions. Thank you for your feedback and for your kind support. We appreciate you guys. We are looking forward to seeing you in our other activities as well. Take care everyone and have a wonderful day.